It's taking every bit of willpower I've ever had not to sing the Beautiful South song. I knew I should have invested in singing lessons all those years ago. The irony of the situation, of course, being, yes, our ship has docked in Rotterdam this morning, but I'm not planning on spending very much time here at all. In fact, I am trying to find my way to the metro so I can jump on that. Is it a metro? It might be a tram. Either way, I'm trying to get to Rotterdam Central Station so I can then get the train across to Amsterdam, where I'm heading for the Lego store. Anna is having the morning off in recovery mode so that she's ready for adventures later in the week. And let's face it, she doesn't want to travel a 3-hour round trip, which is effectively what it is when you factor in the metro, the tram, the waiting around, the walking. She doesn't want to do that just to go to the Lego store, especially when it's a store she's been to before. But I'm going to head over and do that and maybe grab a couple of Amsterdam souvenirs while I'm there, and then I'm planning to get back into Rotterdam later on this afternoon to go on an adventure with Anna. We're actually docked here for one night, 2 days. We arrived at 6 o'clock this morning. It's nearly 11 o'clock. I've had a slow start to the day because there's no rush, because we don't leave Rotterdam until I think 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. So we've got plenty of time to explore a city we've never been to before, but that'll probably be tomorrow, which will probably be the next video in the series. For now, I need to find this tram so that I can get to the train station, so I can get to Amsterdam, where hopefully the temptation to sing the song will dissipate slightly. And it looks like we've got multiple choice, because it looks like there's a little tram stop over there, but there's also that's the universal sign for the metro over there. We've also got Tattoo Bob lurking around as well, so there are a lot of options for me, but I think the sensible thing is the metro. As much as I want to ride the tram, I'll get to ride a tram in Amsterdam. Let's dive down into this metro station. It is absolutely miserable weather today, by the way. It's not freezing cold like it was in Hamburg a couple of days ago. It's like 10 degrees, so it's a lot warmer, but it's just really rotten, drizzly. Bleh. So, and it's been very foggy. We had a sea day yesterday. The journey here was pretty much entirely in thick fog. But yeah, can we get to Rotterdam Central? We can. We need line 3 to get to Rotterdam Central, which is 1 minute away. That's ambitious. I'm also hoping I can use Apple Pay to do this, because I haven't bought a ticket, and that caught me out in Hamburg the other day. Also a very large bridge over there, but it's so foggy, we can't fully see the top of. That gives you an idea of like those buildings over there. You can't see the top of those either. I really don't think I'm making this train in a minute, am I? To the escalator. 2 things, very much approve of this. We should have travelators in tube stations in London, and it's just occurred to me how different travel is these days compared to the good old days. I haven't even made a note of what metro station I'm at. I fully expect when I'm on my way back later to pull into Rotterdam Central from Amsterdam and just be able to look on my phone to see where I need to aim. Oh, we are far too reliant on technology, aren't we? I have no idea how to get back here without my phone. Can report Apple Pay got me through the gate. I hope it's not very expensive. They come in a lot slower than the London Underground does. But there we are. I'm getting some serious flashbacks walking through this station, because this is where we got stranded for hours on our way back from Amsterdam a few years ago, which ultimately led to us having to spend the night in Brussels and then have to spend another night in London. It took us like 2.5 days to get home from Amsterdam. Don't think it'll take that long today. I did just notice a sign to London St Pancras, so it looks like you can get on the Eurostar directly from here now, which is interesting. You certainly couldn't when we were here before. But I could actually, because London St Pancras is the train that that's where you leave the train from London to get to our house, I could get to our house and back again before the ship leaves Rotterdam, which is bonkers when you think about it. That would amuse Anna if I just turned up back on the ship later with something from our house that I shouldn't have with me. Well, that was a much shorter wait than the last time I was at this station. I've been here about 3 minutes. Lovely stuff. If my knees were capable of getting me that close to the floor and back up again, they look like the most comfortable train seats ever. We've been on here about 25 minutes. We're about to pull into Amsterdam South. We're not going into the central station because the South station is a metro ride away from the Lego store, which means less walking on my poorly heel, which is still really hurting. So we should be there in just a couple of minutes. I'm never not going to get excited when I see the double-decker trains. Why was mine a boring single deck? I want to be upstairs on a train. I've only done it once in Paris a few years ago. I hope I can get that one back later. And then theoretically, 4 stops on this, and we should be at the Lego store, or very close to it, assuming I can navigate in Dutch, which is a big assumption to make. And I have emerged into Amsterdam. I remember this metro station from when we were here last year. Now I just need to remember which way the Lego store was. I think it's basically, I think there's a road that runs parallel to this one, and I think it's over that side. We're going to have to Google Maps it though. So we are, yeah, it is. We literally need to go down there and then cross over and get down to the parallel road. And then that's like a pedestrianised shopping area. And the Lego store is on there. So I'm thinking, let's cross at the actual crossing rather than crossing like a maniac. It does occur to me, I don't know how zebra crossings work in the Netherlands. I assume I was okay to just walk. Everything seemed to stop for me. Right, all crumbs, bikes everywhere. Okay, we'll head down here until we find something that looks like a proper path to cut through there rather than a back street. I'm a little scared of back streets. Is that somewhere we can get down? Yeah, that's probably, I think that is where we want to be. I think that is the little pedestrian street that I remember, which, like I say, has a Lego store on it. Yeah, this definitely looks about right. 2 other potential tasks. I've been in that Ajax fan shop before. That's where I bought my Ajax shirt from. So I've definitely been on this spot like 4 years ago. Yeah, I've got 2 other plans in addition to going to the Lego store. As I was taking off my backpack when I got on my first train back in Rotterdam, I broke my watch strap. So if there's an Apple store somewhere, I need a new watch strap, which is annoying because I'm like on the verge of getting a new watch. Can't really afford to take the plunge on the watch itself today, but I'm not gonna have to buy a strap that I'm probably only gonna have for about a month. And knowing Apple, it's gonna cost me about 80 quid, but my brain will freak out if I don't track my sleep tonight, so I need a watch strap. And also, I've already seen Foot Locker, there's Adidas. There's JD behind me. I would still like some swimwear for me and Anna so that we can swim on the cruise ship. But that's kind of a secondary concern because we don't really have many or any days just on the ship now. What I could really do with is some more cushioned shoes. As much as I like to be a cool guy walking around in my dunks, if I can find some Skechers or something to help this heel problem, I think that would go a long way towards making exploring cities a lot more comfortable for me. So we're keeping an eye out for something like that, but I am awkward because I've got size 13 feet. So that task is easier said than done. Oh, there's the Lego store. Wow, okay, that was super easy. I'm not taking you in there with me because I'll make a video on Block Party. I'll see you on the other side when we'll pick up the rest of our mission. That was so simple to get to. Well, Lego shopping complete. I actually came down to another shop to look at the Lego in there as well. It's cheaper in there and it's on the same street, but I did walk past some places between the 2 shops that I figured I should probably show you as I re-engage tourist mode. In other news, it really smells of devil's lettuce around here. I don't know why. I don't know why my good friend Donald Duck is here, but he is. Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse are here too. Luckily, no sign of Daisy Duck. If Anna found out I was hanging out with Daisy after what happened at Disneyland Paris, she would be fuming. That duck has the hots for me. So further proof that this entire street, I think, is just targeted at me. This is the same street that has the Lego store and Intertoys on. It also has Game Galaxy, which looks like it's full of Funko Pops and Pokemon cards. 2 certain weaknesses of mine in the past. I haven't browsed Funko Pops for a while. I probably shouldn't start again. That Winnie the Pooh is awesome. If they've got an Eeyore, I'm gonna have to buy it. Also, I'm sure Anna would probably like the Wicked ones as well. We've got Elphaba, Valentine's version, next to Wicked Witch from Wizard of Oz. They look so different. This is like a combination of like a CEX and almost like a CEX crossed with Menkind, if we were to compare it to UK shops. We've got a load of games, including some rare Nintendo Switch games hidden behind glass in there. So there are games to hunt, but they've got Pokemon cards in here as well, and then various other collectibles and lounge flies and things at that end. I think if Anna were with me, we would spend some money in there, but she is not. She's spending some money on the cruise ship being rubbed. But then just a few steps further down the street, we have another danger shop. We have Pop Mart, which I've spent far too much money in lately. Me and Anna got our first ever Labubu's when we were down in London for Wicked the other week. We got our second ever Labubu's in Southampton when we did some shopping whilst waiting to board the ship last week. Our third ever Labubu's coming from Pop Mart. There's a chance they might be. Oh no, they've got the Donald Duck ones in here. This is a problem. I've just seen him as well. It's a sign. I probably need to get one of those. Minions. I was looking at the Minions in Southampton. There's only one Kevin, so the chances of getting one I actually want are not good. But with those, I'll want whatever there is. So I think I'm getting myself a Donald, which means I need to find one for Anna as well. Well, that's not the first time Donald Duck has saved me, and probably not the last. Avoided buying a Labubu, got myself a Donald Duck, got Anna a Mickey and Friends. We'll open them up when I get back to the ship as a little bit of an unboxing. But then literally like 3 stores down, we have a rubber duck store. It's everything all at once. And I must say as well, that's 2 shops now where the staff have clocked my sunflower lanyard and asked if I needed any help, or if everything was okay, or if I needed any extra support, which I've never had that anywhere else other than airports. So big thumbs up to Amsterdam. It was Lego store and Pop Mart. Really top service. Thank you very much. But yeah, we now need to go into the duck store. We look at the size of that shark. Anna loves sharks. We'd already have a rubber duck shark, so we don't need to get one of those today. But we might have to grab a duck. We always get a duck when we come to Amsterdam. The first time we came, we spent like €200 on ducks because we're idiots. But hopefully I can control myself and just maybe get one today. One thing I always do when I'm out and about on adventures is get Anna some socks. So I think some rubber duck socks are probably the order of the day. We actually got some ducks on the way to Southampton last week because there was a duck vending machine at the services. So I got Anna, Elphaba and Glinda off of Wicked. I mean, look at that for a photo opportunity at the end of the store. That's when you know it's a fancy store, when they can dedicate a quarter of the shop to not even putting stock in, just so people can take pictures in there. I'm not seeing anything scream out to me. I mentioned Elphaba and Glinda because I've just seen them, but we only bought them the other day. I've already got Kevin the Minion. We've already got a shark. Have we got all of the ducks we're interested in? Is that possible in a world where there's this many ducks? Well, I actually think we've reached the point where we've got every rubber duck that we want. Our bathroom cabinet at home is absolutely covered in rubber ducks and fugglers because they've got the little hard collectible fugglers as well. I think we're done with ducks. I didn't buy any. I've never thought the day would come when I came to Amsterdam and didn't buy a rubber duck, but I'm going to continue exploring what I'm just going to call Kevin Street because it's got everything I want down one street. I genuinely, when I'm done on this street, if I find a Fibo down this street and I can get myself some bitterballen or a croquette, I'll be happy just to get on the train and head back to Rotterdam and get back on the ship. I don't need to see the rest of Amsterdam. I've seen it so many times. This is going to be the weirdest Amsterdam travel vlog anyone's ever seen. On that note, there's an actual Skechers store. So let's have a look to see if they've got anything for me. Yeah, I don't think Skechers are for me. Every pair was over £100. They were all hideous. I need a better solution. New Balance, maybe I'm old enough to go to New Balance now. They have a Waterstones in Amsterdam. See, now I'm intrigued. Are the books going to be in Dutch or English? I just turned off of the street I was on just so I could prove that I was in Amsterdam and not just on any high street in the world. And I've realised I'm right back at the train station. I'm not going to get back on the train just yet. I've only been in Amsterdam like an hour. So I'm going to go back down there and carry on walking down that street because I was having such a good time down there. But yeah, this is Amsterdam. I think at the other end of this street, if we keep going down this way, I think we get to Dam Square, which if I can't find a Fibo, which if you've not seen our previous Amsterdam videos, Fibo is basically a vending machine takeaway where you can get croquettes out of vending machines, and it's brilliant. And I love it because I love vending machines. But if I don't stumble across one of those, I'll just be a proper tourist and get some bitterballen on Dam Square, then probably head back and jump on the train and go and give Anna her ever-increasing quantity of gifts. The Amsterdam dungeon is behind me. I love the London dungeon. I love the Blackpool dungeon. Anna's never let me go to a third dungeon because she hates them. Is it weird for somebody to just be in one of the world's great cities and head to the dungeon just because he likes dungeons? It probably is, isn't it? I'm quite tempted though. Well, I've made it to Dam Square, where we have whatever that is, but we also have Madame Tussauds. There was, is it still here? There was a Ripley's Believe It or Not, I think, at one point as well. But I can't see that. Is that gone? Anna's also asked me to get us a new fridge magnet. We get fridge magnets everywhere we go, but somebody, some oaf smashed our Amsterdam one. So we do need a new one. Specifically, she wants one with a working windmill on it. So I'm gonna have to go into a tourist trap shop, but first, a tourist trap restaurant, because over here, I've been to the last 3 Februaries in a row, this exact restaurant, and had bitterballen. It's the law that I do it again. But first, do you want a couple of, oh, isn't Amsterdam pretty shops? Because look down there. Isn't Amsterdam pretty? Look at it. Even on a foggy, rainy day in February, it's just a really nice city. And I say that as somebody who's heading to one of his favourite cities in the world in just a couple of days. We've got the day in Rotterdam tomorrow, but then the day after we're in Bruges, and I love Bruges. But this is like if you took Bruges and smashed the best bits of London into it as well. Because Bruges has the pretty, but it doesn't have the Lego store, the Pop Mart, like all of the big shops. And I like shopping. You may have learnt this about me. So Amsterdam's like a best of both worlds kind of deal. And that's speaking of someone who doesn't even come here for the boobies and the drugs. And I still enjoy myself. So it's a good place. And now one last very important job before I head back to the train is I've got to get my bitterballen while I sit here and watch the trams go by. Well, that was as delicious as always. And I knew Ripley's Believe It or Not was around here, so I'm not even going to go in there. But the reason I was looking for it is because I think the shop we got the magnet Anna wants replacing from is that souvenir shop next door to it. So we're going to go in there and have a look. But first, I didn't get a drink with my bitterballen because, as you know, the cruise is sponsored by Holy. I have one with me, so we're just going to step to one side and have a Holy on Dam Square while the DHL man beeps at us. Thank you to Holy for sponsoring the cruise. I've got the one I always have. It's the iced tea, the lime mint matcha iced tea. It is delicious. Anna will no doubt be back on the ship glugging away on the energy ones because she loves those. We've got some hydration ones over there as well, but it's just my favorite. I can't resist it. I first discovered like citrusy iced tea in Amsterdam years ago, and say it quietly, but I like this one better. So I'm a Holy guy now, so I'll knock this back and then go and find my magnet. Should probably say the link to buy some Holy is at the top of the description below. I wasn't just telling you about it for fun. Like I say, we are sponsored by them. I would like you to buy some so they sponsor us again. Literally worst advert anyone's ever done. Now I will go and buy a magnet. Right, I think these are the magnets she was after with the spinning windmill on. They also have them as Christmas tree decorations, which is quite cool. But yeah, I think we just need to grab one of these magnets. I don't know what colour she wants. She wasn't that specific. I guess we go for the most purpley girly one. So magnet purchase. The one thing I haven't spotted is an Apple store, but I think I can find a way to cope without. There might be one in Rotterdam that I can go and find either this evening or at some point during the day tomorrow. I am certainly going to be very annoyed at not having the watch. It's already caught me out multiple times today. But my plan now, head back to the train, head back to the ship, and then I can show you all of the goodies I've purchased. And that is the train I need. Perfect timing. So now we enter the riskiest part of my journey. I'm back at Amsterdam South train station, and now I have to get on the right train to actually get back to Rotterdam. Or there is a risk I could end up in London or Brussels or Paris. I think I'll be fine. And it looks like the next one for Rotterdam is that one at 14:57. I don't think that one stops there. It's not clear. I don't know where Den Haag is. I think to be safe, we'll go on the one that's literally labelled Rotterdam in like 10 minutes. But this one's a double-decker and I really want to get on this one. Oh, here we go, boys and girls. This one, definitely labelled Rotterdam. And it's a double-decker train. Here we go. Very warm in here, thank you. Right, I changed my mind and got off again because according to my phone, that one stops at like a gazillion places on the way to Rotterdam. And if I wait until 5 past, which is 9 minutes time, I get on the one that only stops at the airport and then Rotterdam again. That only takes half an hour. And that will actually get me back to Rotterdam before this one. So I got to go upstairs. But now I'm going to get on the boring train again. I do have to be careful that I get off at the right place because the one that I'm getting on heads all the way to Brussels, which I think is the same train that me and Anna got when we were stranded in Amsterdam, and we ended up getting as far as Brussels before we had to spend the night. So must get off in Rotterdam or that's a problem. All right, let's try again. This is the train that Google tells me to get on. And Google's never wrong, right? Well, we'll call that a roaring success. I've made it back to a very busy Rotterdam Central Station. Now I just need to remember how to get back to the metro and find the massive cruise ship that's knocking around somewhere in this city. Well, I'm now back on the magical moving floor again and back within range of signposts that say cruise terminal. So next stop should be back on the ship, which is just as well because my camera's about to die. I've used it quite a lot today. It is. Still can't see the time because my watch strap is still broken. It is just before 4 o'clock. I think I got off the ship about 11 o'clock this morning. So we've done a 5-hour round trip, which sounds about right. An hour and a bit each way once you factor in the metros and the faffing around at each end, as well as the half hour or so on the train each way. And then 2.5, 3 hours mooching around in Amsterdam. That feels like a pretty good day. So I will meet you back in our cabin, show you my goodies, and we'll find out what Anna's been up to. I suspect there's quite a good chance she's had a very long nap. She does like to nap. And 5 hours later, and you can see the top of the bridge now, but it's still a bit of a struggle to see the top of the buildings over there. And I think, if I remember rightly, the cruise terminal is literally, you just walk down this little row of buildings, and yeah, there it is, Cruise Ter Rotterdam at the end there. Some of these buildings, by the way, Rotterdam has some big, tall buildings, which you don't see so much of, certainly in the middle of Amsterdam. I guess you get a bit more of it on the outskirts, but it definitely feels like more of a modern city, whereas Amsterdam, obviously, more historical and stuff. I'm basing this purely on my experience of Rotterdam Central Station and this little walk for maybe 150 yards between the metro and the cruise terminal. So the rest of the city might be beautiful and quaint, but the bit I've seen isn't. I'll explore it properly tomorrow, I'm sure. Although there is the potential for tomorrow. There's an independent Lego store out in Gouda, which is only like 20 minutes away on the train. So we'll see what Anna wants to do. She is struggling a lot because she's not got the wheelchair or the mobility scooter with her. She's struggling a lot with the amount of walking she's having to do, even with the rollator. So I think we've pretty much decided the wheelchair needs to come to Florida with us. But I don't know if she's going to be able to manage a day exploring Rotterdam. If she can't, I'll probably head over to Gouda and do that, and maybe have a little mooch around in Rotterdam, see what's what. But yeah, luckily we are. Don't worry, Anna's having a nice time too. She's being spoilt, she's getting lots of rest, she's not having to do anything. That is very much her idea of a holiday, whereas as you can tell by the videos, I'm more of a get out and about and do stuff kind of chap. But remember, the videos are only a small proportion of the day. We have the rest of the day where we go for dinner together, we go to the shows together. We are still doing normal couple stuff on holiday too. Just doesn't have to be all day, every day. Remember, we live together, we work together, we're together 24/7. It doesn't hurt for us to come to another country and for me to go off on my own for 4 or 5 hours. But I know some of you all think it's weird. I am back, which means haul. So, firstly, I've got my Lego pick-a-brick, which I have instructions to make my windmill. So, if you want to see about that, watch the Lego channel, because that's all on there. I've also got my 2 little custom minifigures, which again, you'll see them on the Lego channel. But then the other bits that I got, the magnet that Anna asked for, which it was actually the right colour and was the only one they had in there. I'm ripping it out of the packaging, we've got to get it home yet, but I want to stick it on the cabin wall. It was the only one that actually said Amsterdam rather than just Holland or Netherlands. So that can go up on the wall in here. And then I also got these. So a Donald Duck and Mickey and Friends. One for me, one for Anna. They gave me a free postcard as well in the gift shop. But yeah, lots of lovely purchases. I keep looking at my wrist because I want to be able to look at my watch, but I can't because it's not there. So it is 4:15. So probably a good couple of hours before we head down for dinner, which should give me time to edit the videos that I've recorded today. So I'll see you on the other side of all that. So back on the ship, I have collected this person who seems to be trying to hide behind me. We're in the art gallery because we've got a reservation for dinner in a restaurant that's just over there. But there's currently 6 people ahead of us in the queue. So we're just killing a little bit of time in here, deciding if we want to spend £2,000 on a picture of somebody else's dog or £2,000 on a postage stamp. That is cool, but it's 3.5 grand. And it looks like an Athena poster in a frame. Well, it turns out I didn't have to pay €18 for them earlier on today. I'll be having more bitterballen for my starter, and then we're going locally inspired again, and I'm going to have a lovely sausage. Well, I'm glad I didn't look at the menu this morning and hold off on having them in Amsterdam. It's not even proper mustard. Guess what? Anna's got soup. So this is my locally inspired bangers and mash, and Anna's cow chunks. So for dessert, Anna's got an Eton mess, but I think that needs renaming as an Eton tidy. Mess that up before you eat it. Yeah, it's unacceptable. And 1 slice of strawberry is that. And I've got a tiramisu. And with that, we're back in the room and no plans for anything exciting or adventure-y tonight. In fact, I've got some editing to do. We've got an early start tomorrow morning. I've had confirmation from the independent Lego store out at Gouda that they're happy for me to come and film a video tomorrow morning. Anna's got a massage and treatment thing booked in for 9 o'clock tomorrow morning as well. I need to be on an 8:30 train out of Rotterdam, so I'm just going to get a bit of editing done and we'll have an early night and then another adventure of me travelling across the Netherlands tomorrow. And tomorrow afternoon, me and Anna are going to go out in Rotterdam and have a little bit of an explore and try once again to try and find some swimming stuff so we can at least get in these hot tubs before we go home. Fingers crossed. It's looking like a long shot at this point, but yeah, we will leave this video here. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for still at least a couple more days of cruise adventures yet, and then we've got lots more cool stuff coming over the next couple of weeks and months as well. So make sure you subscribe. We are in full travel mode now. And thank you very much for watching.